and good evening, depending where you are, and welcome to this wonderful webinar organized by the National Agricultural Seed Council and partners under the Collaborative Seed Program, funded by the Dutch government, Embassy of the Netherlands in Abuja. You're welcome. At this point, I want to welcome all the major stakeholders in the industry and those along the entire seed value chain. My name is Ekumo Jogu. I will be facilitating this event today alongside with Dr. Maya Tyson from Wageningen University and Research, who also is a coordinator for the Dutch Collaborative Seed Program. I want to welcome specifically the Director General of the National Agricultural Seed Council, who has made this event possible, who has okayed it, and who is here present. I want to welcome all the donors. You're welcome. Esther, can we go to the next slide, please? Yes, we have a few housekeeping rules that will guide us in this webinar. Our cameras and microphones are enabled for only the speakers and the panelists only. So other attendees might just be audio only. Attendees are encouraged to use the chat feature to ask questions and make comments. And please, we encourage that you address your questions to a particular speaker, and kindly refrain from posting anything in the chat that is unrelated to the event. And also, we want to inform you that the webinar recording will be made available, after the event. And nothing will be wrong for you to use the chat button. You can let us know where you're participating from, and what you do. This is a national. Okay, thank you. This is the national. Next slide, Esther. This is organized by the National Seed Sector Platform, anchored by the National Agricultural Seed Council, and this is made possible under the Collaborative Seed Program. Now, the National Seed Platform, it's a structure that has been put together for seed industry stakeholders to review, to discuss and elaborate and monitor the activities of the industry towards the implementation of the National Seed Roadmap for Nigeria, all in an attempt to contribute to seed sector transformation in Nigeria. This came about after the National Seed Roadmap was developed, and then 22 topical issues were identified, and all of this was with support from the Embassy of the Netherlands in Abuja from the Dutch government. And then this platform was established. Sometime last year, the National Agricultural Seed Council Director General, Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo, established the platform. Now, the platform meets quarterly every year. This is our first meeting for this year, so we still have 3 other meetings that we'll be having. And one of the meetings is a physical meeting, while 3 meetings are virtual, like the one we're having now. And the physical meeting will be joined with the National Agricultural Seed Council Seed Connect meeting that holds sometime in the year. And all of this is geared towards the implementation of the National Seed Roadmap. So that's in a nutshell what we're doing. So the objective of today's webinar is on the SEEDCODEX. We're looking at the SEEDCODEX, and the aim is to create more awareness of this digital technology that ensures the enforcement of quality standards in the seed industry. It is all to also let us know that the tool guarantees the seed that are sold in the market. It enables traceability, eliminate adulteration, and to ensure the integrity of the seeds that have been traded. And we're also aiming to get, what are the challenges in the implementation of this digital technology, and what are the opportunities that exist in ensuring that we develop the seed industry via this technology. And all of this was also started from AGRA that has been supporting us, and you can see where partnership has taken us to. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in a nutshell today. Please, next slide. Okay, so at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite, for the goodwill message. Remember, I just did mention that we started from somewhere and we had some people who have been supporting us, and we are where we are, and we are progressing to get to competitive seed industry. Ladies and gentlemen, to give us a goodwill message is a country manager for AGRA, Dr. Makinde, who is ably represented by Dr. Esther Ibrahim, who is the program officer for AGRA in Nigeria. So we'll be receiving Dr. Makinde's goodwill messages represented by Dr. Esther Ibrahim. So Dr. Esther Ibrahim, you have the floor. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So, from Daniel, to complete the task.
Esther, I'm so sorry. Esther, we cannot hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on, but please look at your microphone and try again, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now
Yes.
we can hear you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I think we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. So I said I bring greetings to you from my country manager, Dr. Kehinde Makinde, who is unavoidably absent, attending to a meeting in Nairobi, and from the entire staff of AGRA, Alliance for the Green Revolution in Africa, and to also congratulate the team of NASC and other partners. As I can see, I'm not sure I have the time to mention all, for putting together the CSP SEEDCODEX webinar. And we are happy that this is coming at this time. The season is coming very fast, and we are trying to look at the seed systems and all issues around it, especially on quality seed. Seed for me is actually the most critical input when it comes to agricultural production, and then there's little attention to it. I was just thinking of it, is it that people don't really know the value of seed? Why people spend a lot on fertilizer, other inputs, and then waste it on grains. And at the end of the day, we are still where we are on low productivity. But I know in recent times, we have actually seen some giant strides from the work that is happening from the seed sector, with the support of all the partners, stakeholders along the value chain. And we know that we are struggling to move this forward, but I know that we have hope with all the partners that we can see. Alliance for the Green Revolution in Africa, as we all know, is actually a non-profit organization that was established in 2006. I won't go into that, but I want to say that AGRA has partnered with different partners. It's an alliance implementing a partnership for agricultural transformation in Africa with BMGF, USAID, DFID. Recently, we have a KFW, and we are working with NASC, which is a very important partner in the seed system, as the regulator, to see how we can actually transform the food systems, ensuring that the seed system is viable and vibrant and working efficiently to get this required input that is very critical to our farmers to actually improve or increase their productivity. Working with NASC, the issue here is actually on the SEEDCODEX, but I want to let us know that AGRA, in working with NASC, has supported NASC on the National Seed Council Act, and then we also have the SEEDCODEX, just like our uncle Ekum was talking about recently, before my time. It's looking at how we can actually ensure that quality seeds get into the hands of our farmers, working with research institutes and private seed companies to ensure that we have quality materials, and not just having quality materials, to be able to also trace traceability, knowing where is the seed coming from, so that when there are issues, we are able to actually trace it back and then put corrective measures in place. I must say that NACS has done wonderfully well around this, from the support of AGRA and other partners to NACS. Over 9 million of the SEEDCODEX has been produced. I know we all take, people take drugs like, what do they call them? This Bicham drug that you have to scratch to ensure if it's the quality one and all that. So it's a lot that effort that has been put into this, and over 2 million of this, 2.5 million of this SEEDCODEX are already being used by the seed companies to get out to the farmers. But I'm calling on every one of us here that yes, we need to actually still follow up on this to check. We need to work together how far this has actually reduced the fake seeds in the market, since we already have a channel to trace and to ensure quality. There's still more work to be done. For sustainability, I know we've gotten this information from NAS working with them, and evidently we have seen that this printing machine working with the M pedigree, NACS already has it, so that we can continue to produce and sustain the availability of the SEEDCODEX. So I'm calling on the seed companies and every other stakeholder that is here, that is important in the seed system, to actually let's put our hands together to see how we can sustain this and trash out fake seeds from the market, so that we can actually increase productivity for all the different crops that our farmers are engaged in, and we can have a better and a bigger food basket for Nigeria to improve our economy, and also to see that the food system in Africa, in Nigeria, in Africa, is transformed. So based on this, I want to say thank you for this opportunity to actually give this goodwill message. And I wish that everyone that is here will work hand in hand with all with NASC to see that we move the seed system forward to greater heights. God bless you and have a good webinar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Esther from AGRA. All hands must be on deck. We must work with the National Agricultural Seed Council to ensure we move the seed system, the seed sector forward for it to yield its benefit. Thank you very much. We are glad you are with us, and we use this point to say we are still open to more support. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite, next slide, permit me to invite the person I call the Field Marshal of the Nigerian seed sector. He is the Director General, National Agricultural Seed Council. He has been working tirelessly to ensure that we get it right in the seed industry. No wonder we have accomplished so much within the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, for the opening remarks and welcome, and to give us the blessing today, we welcome Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo, Director General NAS. DJ, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all hearing me.
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear. Yeah, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. It's actually my pleasure to welcome all seeds industry stakeholders to another seed sector platform meeting under the CSP, organized by the National Agricultural Seed Council, to discuss ongoing innovations in the industry, identify critical gaps, and develop strategic frameworks for scaling up seed delivery to farmers. It is also to create network and stronger business relationship between local, regional, and international partners. And the platform was established to provide a structure of seed sector stakeholders to discuss, elaborate, monitor activities linked to the implementation of the National Seed Roadmap. Also to contribute to seed sector transformation, achieving a vibrant and resilient seed sector, and providing very good quality genetics to our farmers. The Seed Council, as part of its regulatory responsibilities, has therefore continued to do the needful in ensuring that Nigeria attain the desired upliftment in the seed sector by leveraging on innovative technologies to facilitate our operations through the use of the National Seed Tracker and the SEEDCODEX. And like we always say, the SEEDCODEX is a turnkey electronic system to ensure traceability of seeds and planting materials in the market and monitor the performance of seeds, particularly along the seed value chain. Distinguished stakeholders, the webinar today is actually the third in the series of the National Seed Platform webinars. And we'll be looking at innovative systems that are posed to pragmatically promote the seed sector and enhance our quality seed assurance capacity by while encouraging private sector participation in the sector. The objective of this webinar, therefore, is to update stakeholders on the SEEDCODEX as a tool for guaranteeing the quality of seed in the market, ensuring traceability, eliminate adulteration and entrench security and integrity of market seeds in trade while protecting farmers from activities of unscrupulous seed merchants. Additionally, it is to stimulate information sharing, build trust, and dialogue among stakeholders and articulate key principles for a resilient seed system, all in our attempt to ensure the goal of a resilient
DJ, sir, are you still on? DJ, sir, are you still with us?
To promote the innovative technology for the overall benefit of the seed sector, resulting from an enhanced and efficient certification process. Like I mentioned earlier,
Hello, sir, are you still with us? DJ, sir.
we should have more 3,000. I hope you are hearing me. Somebody's disturbing me.
All right, go on, sir. Yeah,
Thank
we are
you very
hearing you.
much. Yes.
Yeah.
I said, let
We
me
were lost.
appreciate all stakeholders along the seed value chain that have keyed into this technical breakthrough, because information available to me shows that more than 4,000 SEEDCODEX labels have been purchased and are fixed to seed containers that have been traded today in Nigeria. The information I'm giving you is as at 21st of April, 2022. Let me also thank AGRA and other partners who have assisted us in this process so far. And like Ojogu mentioned, we are open for more. Why I use this medium to once again welcome you to this meeting? It is my honor and rare privilege to declare this webinar open, and I wish all of us very fruitful and useful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DG Seed Council. Thank you for the support given to the seed industry. Thank you for welcoming us and opening this webinar. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to proceed, and right away we'll be taking our presentations. We'll take a keynote presentation. The first keynote presentation will be taken. It's the implementation status of the SEEDCODEX in Nigeria. And this is going to be anchored by Mr. Osho Bankole, an officer of the National Agricultural Seed Council, who is in the depths of the SEEDCODEX. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Olusegun Osho Bankole for his presentation.
Thank you, welcome. My name is Osho Bankole, and I work with the National Agricultural Seed Council. It's a privilege to present the keynote presentation this morning. And And I also want to appreciate the Seed Sector Governance Platform for giving us the platform to showcase the Seed Codex to the general public. This morning, we'll be talking about implementation of the Seed Codex in Nigeria, current status and ambition. I'm going to run through these slides and we'll give opportunities for questions. Now, let's start from the beginning. The NASC and seed quality assurance. The National Agricultural Seed Council is the national institution with mandate for regulating the seed industry in Nigeria, and in association with other mandates, it's run on a mission statement, which explicitly says what the National Agricultural Seed Council stands to achieve. The mission statement states to enable a credible, dynamic, competitive, and relevant industry which provide healthy and high quality planting materials for Nigerian farmers and for export. If we want to underline some key issues in this mission statement, we have dynamism and we have providing healthy and high quality planting materials for Nigerian farmers. And how and what does the Seed Council does in terms of quality assurance? We ensure that the market is rid of all adulterated and spurious seed using specific quality assurance strategies, which includes effective seed certification system, efficient seed testing regime, digital labeling systems. And to cap it all, the National Agricultural Seed Council has the full technical department in charge of seed inspectorate for sensitization and surveillance of the seed industry. Next slide, please. What is the Seed Codex? This is what we are here to discuss today. Seed Codex is an electronic authentication tool which is meant for all crops. It is mandatory for all classes of seed traded in Nigeria. Is to entrench traceability, to eliminate adulteration, to entrench the integrity of seed. And we will ask, on what legalities does the Seed Codex stand? The Seed Law 21 of 2019, section 32, subsection 1 states, in addition to the labeling requirements under section 31, which obviously is the labeling of the bags by the companies, certified seeds shall not be placed in the market unless they are labeled with a certification label issued by the official certification service or authorized private certification body. With this law, every seed traded in Nigeria that does not have a seed codex is more or less categorized as adulterated or fake seeds. Next slide, please. Now, how did the Seed Council start? Next slide. In every traded seed market, there is a need for label, and the label is in terms of with international standard. The Seed Council started with paper labels, which you can see the pictures on the screen, the white for foundation seed, the blue for certified seed, and the white with striped red for the breeder seed. This is what we started using, and in line of entrenching traceability, we found out that there is a need for a paradigm shift. And why do we actually need for a paradigm shift? Next slide. Because number one, adulteration of process and instrument has been a challenge. In the seed industry, we found out that spurious seed dealers often fake these tags, which are not traceable, and present it to non-suspecting farmers who in turn do not have value for money. And we also found out that there is non-durability of these seed tags. In most cases, in the course of transportation, the tag that is supposed to be outside the bag gets cut off in the process of transportation, and the farmers does not have access to verify where their seed is coming from or who is producing their seed. Another issue which called for the paradigm change was that using of this seed is a cumbersome process. To get it, there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done, brought to the headquarters, and go through some bureaucratic process before these tags are made available. In most times, it takes a lot of time. And we found out that traceability was also an issue. Now, in the present dispensation of the world where everybody is going digital, the NACS thought it wise that for authentication process, the best way is to go digital to solve all these issues and to create a fail-safe security system of labeling. So knowing that we need this paradigm change, we need to know how the SEEDCODEX work. How does the SEEDCODEX work? The SEEDCODEX works in 2 different phases, which I'm happy to inform you that NACS has made it to be very, very doable in less than 48 or maximum 72 hours. It has 2 phases. The first phase is what the SEED certification officer does, and it involves collation of all reports, all tests, the SEED lot, submission of the laboratory test, and application for the SEEDCODEX. This process is done online, so there is no time lag. If all the papers are ready in a day and it's sent to the codex mail, processes begin immediately. And the second phase is where the SEEDCODEX are actually generated. It's in 5 lags. The first lag is the receipt of the request. When the request is received at the headquarters, it is sent to the backend server where the codex tags are actually generated. Under the slide here, we have an example of how the codex is generated. We have an order ID. This order ID in 10, 20, 30 years remains the same, and it's a particular code that is for every tag that is generated in that range. After generation of the tag range, the codex is collected and affixed on the bags. When the codex is affixed on the bag, it comes to the very crucial stage where we give life to the codex, and this is what we call the activation stage. When the codex is fixed on the bag, it is sent, the range is sent to the headquarters, and the codex is actually activated. From this stage onward, the traceability systems is activated. And to get this further, if one of the tags is scratched and the code therein is sent to a toll-free number in 1393, it gives some response. The response is seen in the next slide. But before we go to the response, I want to introduce us to show what the codex look like. You can continue to the next slide. This codex, the first figure you are seeing is the jumbo tags. This is used for the legumes, the cereals, and all the big bags. And the next one that is going to be shown to us is the small miniature one that is used for vegetable seed tags. Before now, vegetable seed in Nigeria is not being tagged because of their small nature, but this has come to solve the problem. And we all know that the issue of adulteration of vegetable seed because of spurious importation has created a big lacuna, and this SEEDCODEX has come to solve the situation. So when you send the codex number to 1393, this is the response you get. The response shows that the codex is okay. It gives you the species of the crop, which is soybean for this sake, and the variety is well spelled there. The lot number, which you can use to trace to the particular field that produced the crop, is also put in the codex, and the class of the seed and the testing date. And if you further click more, you get another message, which is just emphasizing what you have gotten before. It shows you welcome, response is authentic products. And it shows all the things that the seed contains: the species, the variety, the lot number, and the class and the testing date. With this number, every bag of seed traded in Nigeria that has the SEEDCODEX has a numeric authentication, and it can be traced to where it is produced, the source of the EGS, and everything that concerns the seed. Next slide. We can't say we didn't have initial challenges. Machiavelli said in his book, The Prince, that for every new order, those benefiting from the old order will be antagonistic. And those that the new order is set to even benefit will only give you a lukewarm support. Well, we identify some perceived challenges cost was one, because coming from a regime where the tag is 6 naira for a bag to 15 or 25 naira, there was so much use about the cost. The process of use, how do we get to change from the old order to the new order? The proof of concept was, is SEEDCODEX actually going to solve the problem that was on ground before? And awareness. Oh, there's no much awareness. All these are the perceived challenge to the adoption of the SEEDCODEX. But NASC, in its wisdom and in support by other collaborating partners, was able to summon these through some strategies. Next slide, please. What strategies was used? It's a very easy way, because when you have a good product, the good product sells itself. There was massive awareness. On the picture on the right, we see the president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Architect Kabir, who was part of the launching of this SEEDCODEX. This was is a strategy NASC used to get down to the end users, which are the farmers. We have support from collaborators. We have AGRA really supporting the awareness program, producing flyers, and there were so much works, webinars, sensitization program to alert farmers and the seed industry on what and why the SEEDCODEX comes to be. And the figures also speaks for itself. In 2020, when we started, we are a total of 400, just a little more than 400,000 SEEDCODEX was sold in the market. Getting to 2021, these figures was multiplied more than 4 times. We sold close to 1.8 million SEEDCODEX in the country. That's for the jumbo tags. While the small tags was also being sold, we have 175,000 in the initial year, went to 425,000 the second year. And this year, 2022, just fourth quarter, as at end of April this year, end of March this year, we have sold 1 million SEEDCODEX. And we know by the time the season gets in top gear, before the end of the year, these figures will have been multiplied like 3 or 4 times. That shows there is proof of concept, there is awareness, SEEDCODEX is being taken up on the market. And there's also a flexibility of costs, which the NASC is working upon. That is a good strategy for making SEEDCODEX popular. The simplicity of process, in less than 48 hours, if the documents are complete, the codex are ready, and after fixing, it is activated. And codex is currently being categorized. Next slide, please. What are the next steps we are looking up to? The one major step is the implementation of a new price regime that makes codex to be priced according to the quantity. When you are selling 50 kg bags, the price will be different from somebody that is selling on a 5 kg bag. These are all strategies to make sure the burden is not on the users and the farmers, while we may ensure that quality is not compromised. Then we want to ensure that SEEDCODEX is available for use by all vegetative and clonal crop, and more rigorous and continued awareness of the stakeholders. And in conclusion, the NASC has found that there is no option than ensuring seed integrity and traceability using digitalization process. And this process is evolving and is being perfected by the day in a user-friendly situation without compromise. Generally, the farmers, the seed companies, the agro dealers, the regulators are all beneficiaries and all stakeholders in this SEEDCODEX, and it's a win-win situation. And finally, there is this picture that I'm showing at the extreme lower right. We need to join hands together to kick out fake seed out of Nigeria. And as I wrap up, I want to appreciate every collaborator, next slide, that have been in the process of making SEEDCODEX a reality. AGRA was really at the forefront with supporters, you say the UKA, DFID, the MPEDIGRI that provided the technical backstopping, the SEDAN that took it all on itself, AFAN, that made it possible for farmers to get access to it, and the NASC itself for thinking it wise to bring digitalization of the seed tracking system. And lastly, to CSP for giving us this platform, and for everybody listening, I want to say thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bankole, for that wonderful presentation. From what we've just gotten, SEEDCODEX is a must for all traded seed. And if you can remember anything, it says SEEDCODEX is going to solve most of the problems. Now, before we go to the next presentation, remember 1393. That's the SEEDCODEX number. Scratch it, send it, and you'll get the authentication of that seed law. Now, is SEEDCODEX going to solve all the problems? Okay, we're going to get an experience from another country that have also implemented a similar innovation, a similar technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be inviting to take the stage Mr. Timothy Minor. He's a market lead specialist for Pedigree Network Kenya. He will be giving us the experience of this seamless technology, how it has helped in sanitizing the seed industry in Kenya. Mr. Timothy, you have the floor. You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Oyogu. My name is Timothy Minor. I lead Pedigree Networks Kenya Limited as a market strategist. Pedigree is an African startup dealing with services or platforms that help consumers verify authenticity of any product that they buy. So we have operations in over 20 countries, and I'm glad to be in this forum today, where, as you refer to AgroTrack in Nigeria as SEEDCODEX. Here in Kenya, we talk of AgroTrack, which is basically a platform through which farmers can be able to verify authenticity of any seed that they buy. We work closely with Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, which handles all matters to do with quality assurance, seed testing, and of course, all seed companies here in Kenya. So we go to the next slide, please. So like I've mentioned, we deal, of course, with a platform that helps in verifying authenticity of any product that consumers buy. And of course, billions of consumers every day ask themselves, once they walk into any shop or even any agro shop, am I buying a genuine product? So there are a lot of essential products here in Africa that are fake, including seeds, fertilizers, medicines, agrochemicals, and most of those who buy these fake products cannot be able to tell from the packaging which is original or which is fake. Next slide, please. So like Dr. Esther mentioned, seed is one of the most critical inputs in agricultural production and has the greatest potential of increasing on-farm productivity and enhancing the country's food security. But counterfeit and substandard seeds have had a negative impact on lives of millions of smallholder farmers. So there is no denying the fact that damage through such products is multiple, and the counterfeit seeds pose a significant threat to various stakeholders. So the situation here in Kenya in 2015, the rate of prevalence of fake seeds was over 30%. But in August 2016, in partnership with KEFIS, we rolled out an AgroTrack system, which is a platform that helps farmers in verifying seed authenticity. Next slide, please. So the system was officially launched in 2017, but was introduced in August 2016. We had done a full year for proof of concept. Yeah, back then, I think we only had 4 companies that were that had agreed to roll out the system and of course test, and some of the challenges that we were experiencing, we were able to improve on that. And by October 2017, the system was ready and we had an official launch. So it's now mandatory for all seed companies here in Kenya. It has been in use for the last 6 years, and we have already onboarded over 75 seed companies who are using the system on a day-to-day basis. In terms of the quantity of rebels that we supplied to date is over 2 million, with a successful scratch rate of 60%. So within the same period, we managed to reduce the prevalence of fake seeds or counterfeit seeds to less than 1%. And this 1% is on what we normally call the farm-based seeds. So there is also an increase in revenue for seed companies because those ones who are greatly affected by this issue of fake seeds had lost a substantial market share. And of course, using our intervention, we managed to ensure that these seed companies have been able to have a full control in terms of the market share that they control in the Kenyan market. Again, through our intervention, there is watertight compliance by seed companies on set regulations. There is no seed that is supposed to be sold in the market, in the Kenyan market, without these seed labels. Secondly, before the seed companies access these seed labels from Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services, then they need to have undertaken the process of seed testing, which is normally done by KEFIs. And once the results are out and the seed companies have been approved to go ahead and pack, that's the only time that they will be in a position to access the seed labels. And of course, label the seed and activate before they distribute the seeds to the market. So we've also helped Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services in matters to do with oversight. Like I mentioned, there is no seed company that is supposed to sell or even pack the seeds before KEFIS has undertaken the quality checks. That is sampling and of course testing. And after the test results are out, that's when these seed companies are allowed to proceed with production or packaging. Then of course, afterwards selling to our farmers. The next slide, please. So it's a tamper-proof packaging, meaning that there is no chance of anyone thinking of coming up with such a label. Like you can see, our labels are a little bit different from what National Agricultural Seed Council of Nigeria are using, but the technology is the same. We have a scratch panel with a hidden code. And once this seed sticker has been activated, then the only thing that we always encourage our farmers to do is at the point of purchase, they only need to scratch and reveal the hidden pin, which they'll send to a short code 1393, which works across all the major telecoms here in Kenya. And the SMS is absolutely free. So within 15 to 20 seconds, the farmer receives a text message, which of course informs him of the company that has packed on that specific seed, the lot number, which has been issued by KEFIs, when that seed was tested, and of course, most important, of course, again, is the quantity. So the text message response that farmers normally receive include, of course, the company, when the lot number, when that seed was tested, and of course, the quantity. The next slide, please. So once a consumer walks into an agrovet or an agro dealer shop, so he'll buy any variety depending on his choice. So assuming you're buying a Monsanto variety, so the consumers will buy the Monsanto seed variety and identify the KEFIS sticker, which acts as a mark of quality. Then the consumer will scratch and text the unique code to a short code 1393, and the text message is free of charge. So there is instant feedback on product genuineness, the lot number, the date of testing, and the company. The next slide, please. So, like Osho has mentioned, we've had various challenges here in Kenya, which cuts across the markets that we have operations. So, and we always encourage that there is need for a continuous farmer awareness campaigns, because we've realized that the rate of scratch rate is still way below our expectation. We've managed to at least maintain a 60% scratch rate here in Kenya because of I'll talk of an aggressive farmer awareness campaign that we normally undertake every now and then. Seed companies should also consider continuous training of their staffs to avoid the breakdowns of operations, especially when one of the users who is mandated to operate the system is not available. We've seen instances whereby seeds are sold in the market with these seed stickers without having necessarily been activated. And so it's alarming because the moment the farmer will send that PIN or that HID, the text response that he receives, it's usually alarming. And we always encourage seed companies to always ensure that they activate their labels before these labels hit agro-dealers' outlets. At times, we've received the mismatch of feedback messages indicating a different variety from the one purchased from agro-dealers, which of course, it's a challenge posed by possible lack of sufficient training on the delegates that authority to someone who doesn't understand the process of seed activation. In our markets, we've seen at times agro-dealers who play a very important role in advising and informing farmers in regards to various seed varieties and their outputs being left out. Of course, agro-dealers always the first key contact for these farmers when they walk into their shops to buy the various varieties or various seed varieties that these farmers are interested in. So we would like to bring all agro-dealers in this ecosystem and empower them to always relay this information to these farmers once they walk into their shops. We've also seen another challenge in regulations, where we have weak regulations and laws to address culprits dealing with counterfeit seeds. Our expectation is the government will look into this, because some of the fines and penalties that are imposed do not discourage this thing of counterfeit seeds. And lastly, we have state agencies and non-governmental organizations failure to collaborate with seed stakeholders in fight against counterfeits. And I would encourage all stakeholders within the seed sector to take it upon them. That's a responsibility to ensure that we all have a role to play in fighting or in helping fight against these counterfeit seeds. Next slide, please. So as a pedigree, we have major operations in Nigeria within the pharmaceutical sector. Recently, of course, we now have partnership with NAS in seed traceability and certification. Within the COMESA countries, we've provided them traceability and certification system for all their agro inputs in 21 member states. So we've already started this in Zambia, and we are hoping that in the near future, we should be able to implement it in all the remaining 20 countries. We have operations again in Uganda. Here in Kenya, we are working with Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services. Tanzania, we have TASCA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, again, using the same platform in ensuring that we protect and safeguard farmers from counterfeit seeds. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, we still feel there is much that needs to be done, especially to improve on extension services by both the government and the private sector. We receive so many calls every other day through our customer care line on best farming practices, which we feel is a missing link that needs to be addressed, because farmers are hungry for information that would help improve their yields. So if this is left only to the seed companies, then we'll not be in a position to achieve much success in that. So again, seed companies need to ensure seed labels are activated in good time and correctly to avoid mistrust by farmers. And lastly, as all stakeholders within the seed sector, we have a role to play in order to make these projects a success, and of course, put a smile on the lives of these smallholder farmers in Africa. That's the end of my presentation. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Timothy, for that wonderful presentation. In fact, that all hands must be on deck, and to let us know that has SEEDCODEX solved the problem? Yes, it has solved the problem from what Timothy has said. From 30% of fixed seeds, it's been reduced to less than 1% in Kenya, and over 200 million labels have been affixed to seed. Thank you very much. We are going to proceed. I want to encourage participants to put their questions in the chat box, because we are going to a discussion session now, and in a panel discussion, your question will be addressed. And to anchor this panel discussion, the moderator is Dr. Maya Tyson, is the Senior Advisor, Seed System, Wageningen University and Research, Netherlands. And Dr. Maya, before you proceed, I want to let you know that one of your panelists, Dr. Khalid Othman, today is his birthday. He is a director of seed certification, so we want to wish him a happy birthday. At this point in time, I hand over to Dr. Maya. Maya, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Oyogo, and happy birthday, Dr. Khalid. So thank you very much for the great presentations, Osho and Timothy, which really put a basis for further discussion. It's a great system, SEEDCODEX. It's a great technology, this digital verification, and you mentioned all that we need everybody on board to make it work and to scale it up also in Nigeria and reach the success that we also have that we see in Kenya. Can I have the next slide, please? So we have a very interesting panel put together for you today, which has representation from farmers to a farmer organization, private sector through an agro dealer and a seed company, the government through NASC, and also with representatives from Kenya. And I will introduce the panelists to you based on the questions that we go through. So indeed, like Yoga says, also please feel free to put your own questions in the chat. And I would first like to invite Engineer Joseph Bamidele, who is the coordinator of the Maize Association in Nigeria. And it's good, I'm delighted that he's here with us today. So please unmute yourself and show your face to us. And then I have two questions for you. So the Maize Association is a non-governmental, non-political organization that helps maize farmers to start up and sustain their farming business in relation to maize. And actually the farmers are the drivers of the seed value chain. They are our clients and they buy the seeds. Engineer Joseph Bamidele, are you there? I don't see you.
He was with us.
Not anymore?
It's what you're looking at.
Okay. So that means, Oyogo, you do some background. Please call him and see if you can help him connecting again. Then I will go to Mr. Alaji Abdulamido, who's an agro dealer who is here with us. He has an agro dealership in Zaire, Kaduna State, and he's the managing director. And he has quite some experience with SEEDCODEX already. I do see Engineer
Yes, I can't hear you. I can't hear.
Thank you. Great that you're here with us, sir. Can you please also put on your video if that's possible?
Sorry, the audio, I cannot hear you. Can you?
If that's not possible, then it's completely okay. So I have a few questions for you. And the first question is, we heard the presentations about the SEEDCODEX, but I would like to ask you as a farmer and as a representative of a farmer organization, how do you see that farmers can benefit from the SEEDCODEX? I think I saw your microphone turned off, so please put your microphone open so that we can hear you.
It's like we lost him again.
Okay, That's a pity. I hope can come back later. But then now I would really like to move to Mr. Alaji Abdul Lamido. Are you here with us, sir?
Alaji Lamido, if you're with us, can you unmute yourself, please? Okay, Maya,
please, I think we also have another problem there. So please sort it out for me and I'll move to our next speaker, which is, I hope that he's here with us, which is Mr. Ibitoye Olumido Oyebale. He's from Premier Seed and he's the managing director. And Premier Seed is one of the oldest and foremost seed companies in Nigeria, involved in research and seed production and sales. And let's move to him and look at some questions for Mr. Ibitoye. Mr. Ibitoye, are you here with us? Or am I in the panel alone today?
Engineer Bamidele is back.
Good morning, Maya. Good morning, everyone.
Hello. I'm not sure who's talking now. Who's talking to us now?
Hello.
Hello.
You can go ahead, introduce yourself. Okay. We can hear you.
Good morning, Maya. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So who's talking to us?
Good morning.
I'm Ibitoye Oyewale, MD Premier Seed Nigeria Limited. I'm with you here.
Okay, great to have you with us, sir. So may I please ask you, since when have you been using the SEEDCODEX, and what is your experience so far with the SEEDCODEX?
Thank you so much, Maya. We have been using SEEDCODEX since 2020. That is about 3 years ago. We started with the foundation seed, followed by the feed crops and vegetables. And our experience is very nice and good. SEEDCODEX as an instance evidence-based instrument, once the farmer scratch off the code and send to 1393, giving them the result that the seed is authentic, give us a lot of, give farmer a lot of assurance that the seed is an improved seed, which enhance the credibility of the seed. And at the same time, it caught
Sir, we cannot hear you anymore.
illegal seed practice because it discourage fraudulent label counterfeiting and give room for sanitation of seed business entirely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you say it benefits companies as well as the farmers who are the seed users. But then I would like to ask you, did you observe any challenges in using the SEEDCODEX? So it was a new system for your company in 2020. So what are the challenges that you observed?
Thank you so much. The first challenge at the initial stage, the adhesive gum did not stick firmly with bag. But with this new improvement, it sticks to the bag firmly now. And in terms of size, the initial one was too big, particularly when we want to affix to the 2 kg bag. But now with this size, it encouraged to affix easily to the bag. Secondly, the issue of price, which is cost. The cost is a little bit high on the small package. For example, for 2 kg bag, we have to use the same SEEDCODEX that we want to use for 50 kg to market the 2 kg pack. So those are the little challenges that we have faced so far.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So it's technical problems, but also it has an influence. It has a certain cost to use this technology. So who pays for these costs? Does the seed company pay, or the farmer has eventually to pay?
Well, it is very difficult to shift the burden to the farmers. Presently, the company is bearing the burden of a SEEDCODEX price because the price of seed has not increased for the past 3 years. So it is the responsibility of the seed company to bear the cost of SEEDCODEX, which is eroding to our margin despite the rate of inflation in the country.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, sir. I see also in the chat a comment, well, that's an interesting innovation, which is very nice, but also arguing that the price is still quite high and it should not be too high so that all seed companies can use it, large, medium, and small scale. So which may be discouraged when the price is too high. I would like to, thank you, sir. I would like to go now to Dr. Khalid. And can you please unmute yourself? And as mentioned, Dr. Khalid is the Director, Seed Certification and Quality Control from the NASC. And under his guidance, this whole technology is implemented in Nigeria. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And happy birthday.
Good morning. Thank you. I think it's been a very wonderful engagement since morning from presentations to date. I am very, very happy that we're talking about the products, the SEEDCODEX now, which is part of the products, at least to ensure quality assurance is guaranteed in the seed system in Nigeria.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So I would like to ask you the question, what is really needed to convince all seed companies to use the SEEDCODEX for all the seeds that they produce and sell?
I think the convincing the seed companies is very easy because they are the chief beneficiaries of the entire system of that product. One, we know that there is this rampant cases of counterfeiting of fake seed packaging and stuff. So, but you cannot. Our systems before were like the tags, from Osho's presentation. He has displayed tags of different classes of seeds, but these things are not, they can easily be faked, and those have been the challenge. Before, if the seed is faked, you may find it very difficult to identify that, because you will discover that maybe even your tags that you have produced as a government agency to make sure the fakers might even bring more beautiful and more original looking than your own products, your own tags. But the codex is there to check this. So now we know that if any seed does not carry codex, the tags will still be there quite all right. They are complementing each other, because the tags are necessary because of meeting international standards. The OECD require that you have some kind of tags, ESTA and all others. But the codex is unique in the sense that it is not easily faked. It can be faked for now, at least. And so that now makes the difference between the fake and the original products. So it's no much effort is required, except that they may be having the challenges which they had mentioned. Maybe when we get to that, we'll make it clearer. That yes, we identify the fact that there are cost issues that the last speaker was talking about. But we, Seed Council, when you have a new product, we also, it's as a responsible organization, we ensure that we follow it up to the implementation and look at what are the challenges here and there. We recognize the fact that if you are using probably 25 Naira codex on a 50 kg bag, it will not make economic sense to use the same 25 Naira for 2 kg bag. So all those things are being put together, and I think we are working on. If you look at Esther's presentation, she has indicated clearly that we already have a machine now. It is now for us to work hard and make sure that we come out with different categories packaging sizes, and we give the market the most desired coverage. At least everybody's interest will be taken care of.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Well, there's a question in the chat I would like to ask you, and that is, people ask, can the codex, because now it's used to really protect farmers from fake seeds and scrupulous dealers, but is it also used for foundation seed, or can it even be used for breeder seed, or that's one bridge too far?
If I didn't get the question very clearly, but if I...
Yes, so let me repeat it. In the chat, people are asking, could you use the seed codex also for breeder seed and for foundation seeds?
Yeah, it's very clear. Every today's seed in Nigeria needs to carry codex, whether breeder or foundation or certified seeds.
Okay, that's nice.
Because
so
the person buying your products needs to be...
use it. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Then I would like to have one more question for Ibitoya. Are you still there? From Premier Seed, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Because there's a very interesting question in the chat, especially for seed companies, because somebody is asking, like, what is the onboarding process for seed companies in using the seed codex, and what is the level of investment required in relation to infrastructure? Could you please say something about that?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So there's a question from somebody: what is needed for seed companies to step into the seed codex? What is needed for the onboarding process? And what level of investment is needed for the infrastructure to use the seed codex?
Thank you so much. SEEDCODEX is an official instrument of NASC for regulation of seed sales in the market. All other operations is carried out on the field. But before the seed can be sent to the market, that seed must carry seed codex. After they have considered the certifications, inspections of the feed, the cleaning and the processing of the seed, and then you have the seed company has its sample results from the NASC. Such a company can apply for seed codex. On the applications, the NASC will activate based on the products, the company, and the lot number and the year of productions, and release to the company. And for every seed that is going to the market, upon affix this seed codex on it, the farmer on the procurement will scratch off the code and send to 1393, and then you will get instant response from it. When we started initially, virtually every minute we are receiving a call from the farmer upon the activation from their own side that the good is authentic and is a genuine product of Premier Seed, which really caught the faking of our products.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For your explanation of the process. What do you think is needed to, because also in the chat people say that there's quite some work to be done to create awareness on the SEEDCODEX. What do you think is needed, and how should it be done, and who should take that responsibility? I want to ask that question to you as well as to Dr. Khalid.
Thank you so much. Awareness is everybody's responsibility, even the government. Every stakeholders in the seed sectors has responsibility to create awareness. And we should be consistent and persistent in the using of SEEDCODEX. Ordinarily, change is something that it is very, very difficult to adopt immediately. But as far as our own company is concerned, no seed will go out without SEEDCODEX. And farmers are patronizing it. It increased our sales. It increased the feedback that we are getting from the farmers. And apart from that, initially when we started, farmers were saying that they saw this on our pack, why others are using it, but now, generally in Nigeria, all the seed companies have adopted it. For average seed that will be sold in Nigeria market, seed market, if it does not carry SEEDCODEX, it is not a genuine seed. So the awareness is still continuous. It's a continuous exercise that everybody has to take up by himself, whether seed company, whether government, whether NASC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Dr. Khalid, can you please answer the same questions? What still needs to be done, and what is the role of NASC in making farmers aware?
Yes, okay. I think principally we will look at those people the farmers directly engage with. So when we look at the agro dealers, I think those are areas the farmers easily go to pick up their seeds, as well as the seed companies. We are also having a lot of interactions with commodity associations who take some of these products from these farmers. So we are NASC as a responsible government organization has been greatly involved with the seed companies, and not so much with the agro dealers because of resources. But I think we've been having community meetings here and there, town hall meetings to create enlightenment and awareness to ensure making farmers know how to get value for their money. And these things, the SEEDCODEX comes out very clearly as part of those things that make sure that they are sure that they are actually getting quality seeds required by them. So I'm thinking that we will need more, just that when you have partnership, when you have people who are your partners together, you can be able to scale up some of these activities. We know that the government resources aren't enough, but for radio jingles and televisions and newspaper, we've been engaging farmers on that. So I think that the awareness is getting very high now, that the first thing the farmer look is the codex. Is it the codex there? Otherwise, it's not going to pick the seeds. And I think from the market, from our studies so far, we are getting very positive response.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Khalid. I see that Engineer Joseph Bamidele from the Maize Association of Nigeria, the Farmers Association, is here with us. Please, Engineer Joseph, can you please unmute yourself? And yeah, can you please tell us, how you think, how do farmers reflect on the SEEDCODEX? So what do farmers think of the SEEDCODEX? What is your own experience with the SEEDCODEX? Can you please explain this to us?
Thank you so much. Yes, the farmers are really very grateful. This year, since the introduction of the SEEDCODEX, we have not received any report of the germination is poor, this seed is not correct. We've been able to know that whatever we got, when seed got for our farmer is authentic because, excuse me, immediately the seed comes, you know what to do, they scratch, just like when you buy your, excuse me, your normal drugs. And they scratch it, they authenticate the seed, where this seed comes from. So for this year, I mean, 2021 wet season, we never
of
So we have a small problem in connection and audio.
Okay. Sorry.
Please go
Can you
ahead,
hear me?
sir. We can hear you again.
Can you hear
yes.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
So we are saying for this year, 2021 planting season, we never had any issue of poor germination. And the evidence is clear from the production. You can see the maize pyramid we had in Kaduna. And I want to say on behalf of Mr. President of Maize Association that we are most grateful to NAS for introducing the seed codex, and particularly to the DG, who has been very, very, very supportive, and the Director of Seed Certification, Dr. Khalid.
So thank you so much, Joseph. What do you think is needed to make sure that all farmers in Nigeria are aware of this technology? What needs to be done to make all farmers aware?
continuous
I'm sorry, we cannot hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we need continuous advocacy. We need to continue to educate them that, look, all you need to do, look out for seed codex. You don't need to just scratch. If it doesn't give you the correct thing, reject the seed from.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Then I would like to go to another panelist, which is Mrs. Caroline Kavu. Are you here with us today? She's from the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KFIS, where she is a seed inspector, and we would like to hear from her experiences also. Carolina, are you with us? Please unmute yourself and show yourself to us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Although for us it's afternoon.
Almost
it's afternoon here in Kenya.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us. So
yes.
Kenya is a little bit ahead of Nigeria in implementing this technology.
Yes.
And, which is called the AgroTrack system in Kenya. We just learned from Timothy. What was the biggest challenge that you encountered in Kenya with the introduction of the system?
Just to begin with, I think Timothy alluded to some of the challenges that we faced, but the biggest of all, even after the 5 years after the launch of the system that we still experience, is the lack of activation of the sticker label, which actually now beats the main objective of the label to the farmer. So we have seed going out to the market. When the farmer scratches and sends the message, they get a very unclear message saying that the seed may be invalid, and that brings confusion because it's supposed to give an indication of the quality of that seed to the farmer. So that's one of the biggest challenges that we are even facing to date after the launch. The other one is lack of scratching of the label by the farmers. I think some of them just assume too much. When they see the label fixed, they don't care to scratch it on. So many times you may not get the feedback. And the other drawback I would say is wrong labeling of the seed pack by seed companies. And I think this basically happens in the seed stores. They may apply the label, but during activation, the wrong information is used to activate. So when the farmer scratches, he gets information that does not tally with what is on the seed packet. So that has been also, although it's not major, but it has been a challenge also. And then the other one is the feedback mechanism by farmers. Initially, when we started, we had a big challenge because we had the M pedigree number appearing when they scratch and there are issues. But to date, we have rectified this. So the toll number that appears is a KEFIS number. So they are able to be directed properly on the status of the seed they buy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And a question from the audience is, so what is the feedback level so far from farmers?
I would say it's quite high because especially during the planting season, we actually have somebody on a desk to attend to calls by farmers. Because maybe they find challenges when they scratch the label, they're getting some confusing messages. So it's quite high, I would say. I may not really say the percentage, but it's quite high, especially during the planting season. Yeah,
Okay.
so that means farmers are scratching.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much for this feedback. And I think this is also where NAS can learn from. I would like to go now to Timothy, who was a presenter today, who's also in the panel. Timothy, are you still there today? Or are you still in the audience here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, welcome again. So I would like to ask you, listening to your presentation and your experiences in Kenya and beyond. So what do you see as the preconditions for successful scaling the SEEDCODEX in Nigeria?
I'd look at a robust national regulation and inspection system that is in active engagement with all the industry players. Of course, the back stops with National Agricultural Seed Council. They're the ones who are responsible in matters to do with quality assurance. But of course, again, we need to actively engage or undertake farmer awareness to make farmers aware that we have such a system, and this system is there to safeguard the quality or even give them the assurance the quality of seeds that they buy in the market. So over and above that, we also have agro dealers who play a very critical role. Like I did mention in my presentation, we always said to sideline agro dealers, but they are the first point of contacts for these farmers. I want to assume there are few farmers who have direct contacts with Premier Seeds. But Premier Seed, assuming Premier Seed works with agro dealers, so most of these farmers normally visit these agro dealers, and agro dealers would play a very active role in ensuring that they pass key information to farmers.
Okay, thank you so much, Timothy. So the second question to you is like, can you give one key advice to NASC that they need to take into consideration when further scaling the SEEDCODEX? What is your key advice?
Thanks so much. With SEEDCODEX, NASC is the driver. So they are the ones who own this project. And so far we are impressed by the successful implementation. And of course, the companies are agreeing to be onboarded. So the only thing that I would encourage NAS is to undertake a rigorous and frequent, of course, monitoring to ensure there is full compliance. And in matters where we have issues that need to be resolved, then I would encourage such challenges to be addressed immediately in order to give confidence to not only the seed companies, but of course to all the users within this ecosystem.
Okay, thank you so much, Timothy. Then I would like to ask Dr. Khalid to come back to the panel. Please unmute yourself. I think we have had an interesting discussion today. It's a pity we couldn't speak to the agro dealer because of connection problems, but we have seen interesting presentations. We've heard interesting feedback in the panel discussion. Okay. May I ask you to please give a final reflection on what you have heard in this webinar? What do you take along for NASC?
Well,
final reflection.
Thank you very much, Maya. I think it has been a very productive engagement with the stakeholders. And most importantly, I like the Kenyan experience because there are certain things we need to also study from them and to think of how to come add more value. Part of those things that give me joy today is when the lady from Kenya was speaking, while she said when you scratch it, that there's a particular phone number. Yes, I think we will look at it and ensure that a particular line of NAS is always reflective. Are you with me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I hear you. We hear you.
Okay, good. So I think that is an additional thing we will look at so that when you scratch, the information we have to enrich it to so that you can be able to talk to NAS directly. So, and we are happy with the system because it's really has the people, the premier man could attest to it, is reducing the faking of their products. So, and I think we are very, as people who are in charge of quality assurance, we will feel proud when we are hearing very good information about checking the fake and adulterated drugs seeds in the market. So we want to say that the people in the industry need to be a little bit patient. It's a new innovation, so there are supposed to be some teaching problems here and there, but I think we are coming over it. Particularly, I sympathize with the companies who are suggesting that we should make provision for lower packaging. Yeah, we are going to categorize it so that if you, for instance, need to package 1 kg or maybe 2, 3, or up to 5, we'll probably have a lower price codex that will suit that purpose. So when if it's for the bigger ones, we will also make provisions for that. But in a short while, we've been working on that. And I think probably we thank AGRA too for giving us a very good support. At least it's an idea the DG has conceived for a very long time, because I do know he had at the early part of Kenyan's adoption of that innovation, he has sent 2 of his people who were in for phytosanitary program there in Kenya, and I think those are some of those things that were brought back. But thank God the man very focused and somebody who like innovations very well. So so when AGRA brought it on the table, he grabbed it, and I think today we are very proud that the SEEDCODEX has come to stay. So, and that it's already telling on. But what I want to make sure it is compulsory for every trader seed to carry the codex. So, and the other areas that is very worrisome, as attested by Dr. Shaw's presentation, is the area of vegetable seeds, which are mostly imported. But systems are now in place to ensure that you put codex in all that you carry out all the quality assurance processes here and ensure that you are from bringing in the council is aware, and we take all the records, and when the sample come, we draw samples, we test them. If they have met our minimum standard, then you benefit from the codex. Otherwise, you may have the whole of your shops, all the contents there being confiscated for destruction because they could be labeled as fake or substandard products. So all in all, I think I'm very grateful to the all that makes this in a success, from my Director General to the Netherlands, the other stakeholders, because we will give thanks to farmers for recognizing that the council is there for them. Most especially this commodity association of Nigeria has been a very worthy partner from the beginning, and we are thinking that other commodity associations should try to do it as good as Maize Association of Nigeria is doing, so that every product, every seed sold must be quality assurance guaranteed. And that the symbol of easy thing that is not easily fakeable is the codex. So I think I would not want to say so much, so that I will give the floor for some other comments. Thank you very much, Maya.
So thank you very much, Dr. Khalid. It's a new technology. It only started in 2020, but it's very interesting and valuable technology, appreciated by all stakeholders. but there's always room for improvement. And as a sector, we need to work on it. So thank you so much. With this, I would like to thank all panelists for their interesting inputs in the discussion. And I would like to hand over to Oyogu again. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Maya. That was a very brilliant panel discussion. It was really great. I think I can see that the DG is on. We want to appreciate virtually everyone. And Maya, as we just almost rounding up, that's when the agro dealer, Abdusalam Lamido, is coming on board. But maybe we'll just take a few closing remarks from the DG while we wrap up this webinar, since the DG is on. DG, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Oyogu. Thank you, everybody. I want to say that this is a very, very great webinar, but I want to crave your indulgence for us to listen, even for a moment or a minute, to Lamido, because he has been trying. I can see his hand up. I want to see your indulgence to be able to let him actually hear his views about his own experience, probably quickly, if you can accommodate him. But on my part, I think this is a very, very good thing. We have learned a lot, and particularly the issue that was raised by our friend from Kenya. I have been wondering how we are going to actually ensure that we see the feedback from farmers, particularly on the ones that have been scratched. I think we are going to discuss with Pedigree. There must be a feedback mechanism for us to know the numbers that have been scratched, and we'll be able to have all those data. That is going to be what I'm going to say. But for me, Maya, you are great. All other partners of ours, we are always very happy to actually partner with you. You are part of our success. So when we are mentioning the success of Seed Council, the names of Maya and our friends in Agra and the rest of them will be written in gold. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, DG. Mr. Lamido, are you on? Can you just, with the request of the DG, we'll just give you a minute or two so that you can share your own experience before we finally wrap up this webinar. Mr. Lamido, you have the floor. Are you there?
Shortly. Yes, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk. I'm calling you from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I'm currently on the holiday, but because of the importance of this meeting, I decided I respect our DG and the rest of the consortium members of this meeting. SEEDCODEX is very, very excellent initiative by the Seed Council. And I would like to suggest there should be a capacity building sensitization to the agro dealers, because agro dealers sometimes serve as a extension agent to the farmers to be aware of this development, so that everybody will be in access of accessing the quality seed across the nations. We have the network under the Northwest Agro Input Dealers Associations. We are now collaborating with the Association of Registered Seed Company of Nigeria to support smallholder farmers from the rural area up to the urban area. We classify the agro dealers into two: the retail ones that are within separate everywhere, and the hub agro dealers that are within the local government area of the state, so that we can share them, disseminate the information to them, and also to ensure that the farmers, they are accessing the quality seed. I thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Right now, I'm out of the country. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Lamido, for speaking to us and also letting us know that you appreciate the SEEDCODEX and that you need more capacity and more sensitization. And I trust that NAS and all other actors are going to work together with you to ensure that this is done. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that it's been a very useful webinar, a very interesting one. Major actors in the seed industries have been involved. I want to use this opportunity to thank the Director General, who is so passionate in ensuring that the seed industry gets its desired goal and ensures that the farmers get quality seed, and he approved of this webinar. I want to thank AGRA, who started this initiative with us, and I want to thank the Kingdom of the Netherlands for this support, that an innovation was started and they are picking it up to ensure that it gets its maximum benefit. I want to also thank the KEFIs. You know, we contacted them and they were ready to share their own experiences, to share their success story and share where they had failures here and there. And the technical partner, Pedigree, who has been giving technical backstopping to Kenya and also to Nigeria, you know, they were all willing. So we are glad, we are happy that you came on board to share your experience. Now, this would not have been possible without you, the major stakeholders of the National Seed Sector Platform for Nigeria. I want to also let you know that automatically, all of us who are participants here are members of the National Seed Sector Platform for Nigeria. This is an umbrella body for all the stakeholders in the seed industry. And like I said earlier on, we organize series of webinars and meetings like this to discuss seed industry activities and innovations. And I want to use this opportunity to let you know that look out for our next webinar. Within the second quarter of this year, we'll be having another interesting webinar. And by then, we trust that we must have put out modalities to address some of the concerns that were raised in this webinar. I want to thank my team and my colleagues at the Sahel. I want to also thank Dr. Maya Tyson. In fact, she's a mother of seed system transformation, you know, in the war. I'll put it that way because she's at the background ensuring these stuffs are working and innovations are being cascaded down for full implementation. Thank you very much, our funders, most importantly, and thank you for participating. Thank you for colleagues at NAS. Thank you, management of Seed Council, who ensured this. And I want to thank the participants, most importantly, again, you know, for being there. And I want to say, we see you again. But remember, SEEDCODEX is a must for every traded seed, and NAS will go all out to ensure full compliance. Once again, I thank you. And I want to also thank myself, you know, for anchoring this event alongside with Dr. Maya Tyson. And together, we want to say happy birthday to Dr. Khalid, Director, Seed Certification in National Agricultural Seed Council. God bless you all. I want to thank those who are at the back end, Esther, Bolaji, you know, for giving technical support. God bless you, all of you. And I thank all of my friends. I can see you. Don't have the time to mention all of your names now. So see you in our next webinar. And like we promised, you need to visit the CSP website, see all of the materials that are there. And particularly our sister organization, Kenya Plant Inspectorate Services, represented by Caroline Kavu. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Extend our regards to the overall MD of the organization, and that we're going to deepen our collaborations after now. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and God bless.